This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org at www.librivox.org. Recording by Mary, aka Breadchick. www.breadchick.com. How to Cook Fish by Olive Green. Section 41, 25 Ways to Cook Whitefish. Boiled whitefish. Boil a large whitefish in salted and acid-related water, adding a bunch of parsley and a sliced onion to the water. Drain and serve with any preferred sauce. Boiled whitefish a la Mackinaw. Clean and split the fish and put into a buttered dripping pan, skin side down. Add enough salted water, barely to cover, and simmer for half an hour. Serve with maître d'hôtel sauce and garnish with hard-boiled eggs. Fried whitefish Recipe 1. Clean and trim the fish and cut into convenient pieces for serving. Dip in seasoned flour and sauté in hot lard in a frying pan. Fried whitefish Recipe 2. Cut the fish in slices. Dip in beaten egg, then in seasoned crumbs, and fry in fat to cover. Serve with any preferred sauce. Fried whitefish Recipe 3. Clean and dry the fish. Cut into fillets. Dip in seasoned crumbs, then in egg, then in crumbs, and fry quickly in fat to cover. Serve with tartar sauce. Broiled whitefish Recipe 1. Clean, trim, and split a large whitefish. Season with salt, pepper, and oil, and broil. Garnish with lemon and parsley and serve with tartar sauce. Broiled whitefish Recipe 2. Put a cleaned and split whitefish on a wire broiler. Season with salt and cayenne. Lay a few thin slices of bacon on top. Put the broiler on a baking pan and cook in the oven without turning. Put on a platter, add a little butter, and rub hard-boiled eggs through a sieve over the fish. Garnish with parsley and lemon. Broiled whitefish Recipe 3. Clean and split the fish. Season with salt and pepper, sprinkle with lemon juice, and broil. Pour over melted butter and serve. Baked whitefish Recipe 1. Clean and split a large fish. Remove the bone and put in a buttered baking pan skin side down. Season with salt, cayenne, and lemon juice. Sprinkle with crumbs, dot with butter, and bake. Serve with any preferred sauce. Baked whitefish Recipe 2. Make a stuffing of 1 1/2 cupfuls of dry breadcrumbs, seasoning with salt and pepper. Add a heaping teaspoonful of butter and 1 egg well beaten. Stuff the fish and sew it up. Put in a buttered baking pan, pour in 1 cupful of vinegar, and bake until done, basting with butter and hot water. Take up the fish and thicken the gravy with 2 tablespoonfuls of flour browned in butter and rubbed smooth with a little cold water. Baked whitefish Recipe 3. Dip the fillets of whitefish in beaten egg, then in crumbs, then in egg, then in crumbs, and lastly in beaten egg. Bake in a buttered dripping pan for 25 minutes and serve with cream sauce. Baked fillets of whitefish. Cut a large cleaned whitefish into fillets, removing as much as possible of the bone. Season with salt and pepper, dip into beaten egg, then in crumbs, then in beaten egg, then in crumbs, and lastly in beaten egg. Bake in a thickly buttered baking dish. Drain on brown paper, garnish with fried parsley, and serve with parsley sauce. Baked whitefish a la Bordeaux. Stuff a large whitefish with seasoned crumbs, put into a buttered baking pan, rub with butter, dredge with seasoned flour, add 1 cupful of claret, and bake. Take up the fish, strain the liquid, add a little more claret, thicken with flour, brown in butter, season with red pepper, and serve separately. Stuffed whitefish. Make a stuffing of breadcrumbs, seasoning with salt, pepper, sweet herbs, and melted butter. Add a beaten egg to bind. Stuff the fish and sew up. Bake slowly, basting with melted butter and water, and serve with tartar sauce. Stuffed whitefish with oyster sauce. Make a stuffing of 2 cupfuls of breadcrumbs, 1/2 cupful of chopped salt pork fried crisp, a chopped hard-boiled egg, 1/2 cupful of vinegar, and salt, pepper, butter, sage, and mustard to season. Stuff the fish, tie in mosquito netting, and steam until done. Pour over a cream sauce to which cooked oysters and a little lemon juice and minced parsley have been added. Whitefish à la crème, Recipe 1. Cook the fish until done in boiling salted water. Drain and remove the large bones. Cook together with 2 tablespoonfuls each of butter and flour. Add 2 cupfuls of milk and cook until thick, stirring constantly. Season with salt, pepper, grated onion, minced parsley, and grated nutmeg. Take from the fire and add half a cupful of butter. Add also the white of an egg well beaten. Put the fish on a serving dish, spread the sauce over it, and brown in the oven. Whitefish à la crème, Recipe 2. Clean a whitefish and simmer until done in salted boiling water. Drain, remove the large bones, and put into a buttered baking pan. Sprinkle with chopped onion and minced parsley, seasoning with grated nutmeg, salt, and pepper. Cover with cream sauce to which 3 tablespoonfuls of butter have been added and put into a hot oven for 10 or 15 minutes. Whitefish au gratin, Recipe 1. Boil a whitefish in salted water and flake fine with a fork. Bring to the boil 2 cupfuls of milk and thicken it with a tablespoonful of cornstarch rubbed smooth in a little cold water. Take from the fire, add salt and pepper to season, 2 tablespoonfuls of butter, and 2 eggs well beaten. Butter a baking dish, put in a layer of fish, cover with sauce, season with grated nutmeg, and repeat until the dish is full. Cover with crumbs, dot with butter, and brown in the oven. Whitefish au gratin, Recipe 2. Skin and bone the fish, cut into small squares, and season with salt and pepper. Brown 2 tablespoonfuls of flour and butter, and add gradually 2 cupfuls of stock or milk. Cook until thick, stirring constantly, seasoning with salt, pepper, lemon juice, minced parsley, grated onion, and a tablespoonful of vinegar. Butter a baking dish, put in a layer of the fish, cover with sauce, and repeat until the dish is full. Cover with crumbs, dot with butter, and brown in the oven. Whitefish à la maître d'hôtel. Clean, split, and bone a large whitefish. Dip in seasoned oil, broil, and serve with maître d'hôtel sauce. Whitefish à la Pointe Shirley. Clean, split, and bone the fish, and put into a buttered baking pan. Skin side down. Season with salt, red pepper, and lemon juice. Add enough boiling water to keep from burning and bake. Serve with maître d'hôtel sauce. Planked whitefish, Recipe 1. Butter a fish plank and tack a large cleaned and split whitefish on it, skin side down. Rub with butter, season with salt and pepper, and cook in the oven or under a gas flame. Put a border of mashed potato mixed with the beaten white of egg around the fish, using a pastry tube and forcing bag. Put into the oven for a few minutes to brown the potato, and serve with a garnish of lemon and parsley. Planked whitefish, Recipe 2. Clean and split a large whitefish. Remove the bone and tack on a buttered fish plank, skin side down. Season with salt, pepper, butter, and lemon juice, and bake in the oven. Creamed whitefish à la Madison. Steam a large whitefish until tender, take out the bones, and flake fine. Cook together 1 tablespoonful of butter and 2 of flour. Add 2 cupfuls of milk and cook until thick, stirring constantly. Season with parsley, thyme, grated onion, salt, and pepper. Take from the fire. Add 2 eggs well beaten and 3 tablespoonfuls of butter. Put in a buttered baking dish a layer of fish, then a layer of sauce, and repeat until the dish is full, having crumbs and butter on top. Brown in the oven. Jellied whitefish. Boil 2 pounds of whitefish in salted and acidulated water with 4 bay leaves, a tablespoonful of peppercorn, and half a dozen cloves. Take out the fish, strain the liquid, and reduce by rapid boiling to a quantity barely sufficient to cover the fish. Add the juice of a lemon and 2 ounces of dissolved gelatine. Flake the fish with a fork, removing all skin, fat, and bone. Mix with the liquid, pour into a fish mold, wet with cold water, and put on ice until firm. Serve with mayonnaise or tartar sauce. Whitefish croquette. 1 cupful of cold boiled fish flaked fine. Add to it half a cupful of mashed potatoes, half a cupful of breadcrumbs, half a cupful of cream, the beaten yolks of 2 eggs, and salt and pepper to season. Shape into croquettes, dip into the beaten white of eggs, then into crumbs, and fry in deep fat. Garnish with parsley and serve with any preferred sauce. Whitefish with fine herbs. Put a large whitefish in a buttered baking pan with salt, pepper, grated nutmeg, minced parsley, chopped onions, and mushrooms to season. Moisten with white wine and white stock and bake, basting frequently. Cover with Voulet sauce, sprinkle with crumbs, dot with butter, bake brown, squeeze lemon juice over, and serve. End of section 41.